What's up, people, and welcome back to another episode of Ghetto Gospel. So where we left off at, man was corrupted, the earth was ruined, and only one man won the righteousness lottery. And guess what he won?
A new party boat! Almost nothing afloat is comparable fun to the enjoyment you get aboard your Suncracker party barge.
I know everybody and their mama done heard the story of Noah before, but let's be real. Most of y'all done heard this story so many times that you probably think you already know what I'ma say. But I promise there's more going on here than just an old man, a boat, and some animals. So what's interesting is, when you think about it, the Bible don't tell us much about Noah. He had a wife, 3 sons plus daughter-in-laws, and apparently he had good genes. You know what it don't say? That he was a carpenter. I want to take this quick aside to say this. The reason I ain't saying this man was a carpenter is cause that ain't what's written. I mean, he almost certainly was by the time he finished, but that's besides the point. It's tempting to try and make the connection between Noah, the only righteous man on earth in his time, being a carpenter, and the other famous carpenter who was the only righteous man on earth. That's how a lot of church myths start. So I'm taking this detour to warn y'all against stuff like that. Sometimes people be making up stuff with good intentions, but a well-intentioned lie is still a lie, and God don't need a lie to push his truth. So let's get back to Noah. Specifically, let's talk about this boat God told him to build. I don't want y'all to think this was just a weekend project. This thing took this man 120 years to build. It was bigger than the NFL field, like an NFL field and a half, and that was just on the ground. It was taller than a 737. And just in case that don't really give you an idea how big this thing was, yes, somebody built a full-size replica ark. We ain't gonna talk about that one. So obviously there's a lot of questions here. What his wife said, where he got all the wood from, how much it cost, what his wife said, what his son said, what the neighbors said. Did he even like animals? What his wife said, what his daughter-in-law said. Also, I'm real curious to know what his wife said. Seriously though, sometimes we read this book and forget that this was real people with real emotions. Even if men was ruling over their wives, like God laid out in the curse 3 chapters ago, you can't make me believe Noah's wife and kids was just gonna roll with this ark building business without having some kind of questions or commentary. Which tells me that either God spoke to all of them, or somehow Noah got his family to roll with his crazy idea until the day they realized it wasn't crazy. Either way, it was a miracle. And then you gotta remember, they wasn't just doing this in an empty world. All the people around them had to watch him work on an oversized boat in a world that never flooded, where everybody was already bad-mouthing God with the breath he gave them, like he ain't had the power to take it back. Later on in here, it say that Noah condemned the world because he stuck to doing what God told him to do. The word used there for condemn mean that just by living his life and doing what God told him to do, he proved that everybody around him was evil. Now, it's a bunch of myths and legends about what Noah and his family went through when they built the ark. Folks like to imagine that folks was making fun of him for being crazy old man Noah with his boat and stories about a flood. And I mean, it's possible, but if it did happen like that, God decided not to put that part in there. Whoever had something to say ain't have no choice but to shut their mouth when it started raining. Like Obama said, ain't no need to flex when you already won.
I have no more campaigns to run. I know, because I won both of them.
So I'm gonna cut it short there. Believe it or not, it's a lot more in chapter 6 we could get into, but I gotta keep this train moving. It's a whole lot more to cover. So other than that, I'll see y'all next week. And as always, peace, and I hope your people straight.